Hello YouTube, my name is The Legend of Yes and welcome to the conclusion of E3 week. The road to E3 ends, technically speaking, today, because tomorrow basically E3 really kicks off. I mean, actually, technically speaking, E3 has already kicked off. We've had a bunch of announcements already, like the Pokemon Direct and all its glory. We also have the announcement of what games Nintendo is going to have playable, some of the games they're going to have playable at their booth at E3, and the games are, let me just get the list. It's Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Luigi's Mansion 3, and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the Black Order. These are just some of the games we're going to be seeing at E3. Also now I know the schedule for Nintendo fully for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. On Tuesday we're going to have the Nintendo Direct, followed by the Treehouse. On Wednesday, just the Treehouse, and then on Thursday it's Indie Day 2019, which is actually a good idea for Nintendo, because normally the final day of E3 is just them repeating stuff on their Treehouse Live, so it's neat that we're going to be getting much more, a lot more of the having indies having the spotlight on that day, instead of just, you know, for the 100th time we're going to be playing the games that we've been playing for 3 days on this, so it's a good idea to have it there. Then the big thing regarding that picture is that Animal Crossing is not a part of the games listed there, and I'm just going to say this: the game's going to be at E3, the game's watching this here. There's no doubt in my mind, but I want it to get delayed. I want it to get delayed until like 2030 or 2030, just 2030, because Animal Crossing fans have become so annoying over the last couple of days and weeks. Like, if you go to the what's it called? Let me check. The Nintendo E3 plan 2019 plans thread on Reset Era. Animal Crossing fans are annoying with the, oh no, it's getting delayed. There's no evidence it's getting delayed, but we believe it's getting delayed because F you. They can't shut up. And now that the pictures come out and it's like the game might not be playable at the show floor of E3, it's confirmed. It's two factions. It's either getting delayed or it's gonna have a big blowout at E3. First things first, Animal Crossing, while it sells tremendously well, why do I have my headphones on? The game sells tremendously well. It's not Pokemon. Even Pokemon itself it's not Pokemon, it's not Smash, it's not Zelda, it's not Metroid, it's not Luigi's Mansion, it's not Zelda. It's not a game that you can make very interesting trailers or that you can make very good demos. Pokemon in and of itself already is a franchise that doesn't demo too well and doesn't trailer too well, but it trailers well when there's things like when there's a new generation, because it has new Pokemon to reveal and can just show them up, while Animal Crossing still doesn't have that. Animal Crossing, you're not gonna get people super excited about, you're walking and there's a new villager? Is that what they're called? Never played it. So, you know, it's not gonna be the most hyped thing, so it's not gonna get a huge blowout at Direct. No game's gonna have that, honestly. It's gonna get a trailer at the Direct, a release date at the Direct, and it's not gonna get a demo at E3, because again, unlike all the other games, it's a game that's chill, that you just play, relax. That's everything I've always heard about Animal Crossing fans. Really chill game that you relax and you play. So I don't think, yes, it's been demoed before on 3DS, but it's not the game that you take to E3. By the way, the demos were not at E3. That you are there surrounded by a bunch of sweaty people, and you yourself are sweaty because it's freaking hot, and you're just playing for 15 minutes, and then you do something, and then at the end, like, okay, move on. That's not the thing people want, especially when the game is so based on what you do in your own village. So just pointing that out there, that like it wouldn't make much sense to be demoed at E3. It's gonna have a big it's not gonna have a big blowout at E3. It's gonna have a demo that's gonna be played at the Treehouse. It's gonna have its trailer at the Direct, probably the beginning of the show. But stop, Animal Crossing fans. You are reaching the point of Smash fans when when Smash Ultimate was not announced, like every time, where's Smash, and it's getting also to the point of like last year's Smash thing, like Smash is a port. It's clearly a port. Look at how much of a port it is. Or it's going to be a port. It's reaching that point. It's also getting to the point of Xenoblade Chronicles in 2017 of the it's not going to make it to 2017. It's going to get delayed to 2018. It's going to get delayed. It's never going to make it. And that's Animal Crossing this year. It's the game that's not making this year. There's nothing to point towards it, but it's not making it this year. Heck, people believe it's going to be delayed because we haven't seen it since September yet. They don't believe Luigi's Mansion is going to get delayed because it's not there. But anyway, this video is not about that. Why am I waiting until... Wow, okay, I'm dumb. Probably it's going to be a link, like skip to this to skip rant or something. But anyway, today, like I said, it's the final day of the E3 week. The road to E3 ends tonight, or ends today, or in the morning. I don't know where you're watching this. And tomorrow we begin with the Smash things, with the direct, not direct, the tournaments. I unfortunately will not be able to see the Mario Maker 2 Invitational. It's 30 minutes and it begins while I'm still at work and it ends while I'm still at work. So if they announce something, I'll see it after the thing is done. But obviously Smash, most likely we're gonna get a trailer there and a trailer at the Invitational, or not the Invitational, the direct. And it now seems like Banjo and Kazooie is inevitable. It's starting to feel like Banjo and Kazooie are a character that is going to be making in, although I don't get why people are looking into leakers like Verge Bank, because he says like 99% sure that the character is going to be in, despite the fact that he's just piggybacking on other people. And also there's Sabi that's apparently leaking the direct on Sunday. I'm calling it right now. He does not leaking anything. He's like Verge Bank piggyback riding on people, and guarantee you too, the person that is leaking shit to them is gonna get fired, and they deserve it for breaking deals and NDAs, and they're lucky if they don't go to court by leaking shit. But anyway, today's video is about the final day of this week is about why the Nintendo Switch is the perfect system for a Nintendo IP expansion, not just Nintendo IP expansion, but also third parties expanding into the Nintendo user base. Now, why do I say this? Well, right now in June, we know that the Switch is a clean over 30 million. We know it's already surpassed the N64. It's gonna surpass the Xbox One by the end of the year. Same thing with the SNES, most likely going to approach NES levels by midway through next year, if not before that. And it's going to start nipping at the heels of the 3DS, should everything go according to plan, by midway, like maybe make like ending of 2020, early to mid 2021, or maybe probably mid 2021, meaning that the nipping at the heels of how much the 3DS sold, and that's good. But it's not just that the install base is big, it's that the install base is varied. We know Skyrim has done well, we know Doom has done well. So Bethesda has been doing pretty good. We've known that FIFA has done well enough to warrant sequels. We know that Minecraft, for example, has done terrifically well. You can say, well, it's Minecraft, and yeah, it is Minecraft. But then again, GTA could very well be doing that on the system, and it's not here yet. But I'll get to that in a little bit. But it's not just the third parties that are doing better. It's Nintendo themselves that's doing better. Like Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out and have done better than ever before. Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best-selling Zelda game of all time. And that it will still be that in a couple of years, and I'm pretty sure it's going to become the best-selling Zelda game period, best-selling Zelda game period, because Ocarina of Time sold 7 million on the 64, and then like 4 to 5 million more on the 3DS, putting it at 12 million, I think. Then we have Twilight Princess that also sold like almost 8 million on the Wii, then another million on GameCube, another million on the Wii U. So it's Zelda games being ported over, but like increased in sales. But Breath of the Wild is gonna do like could do like upwards of 20 million this console generation. It's still selling. It's still in the top 10 every week in Japan. It's still it has missed one top 20 in the NPD chart since launching, and that was November, I believe, of 2018. I think it was November of last year. It was the only time that it missed a top 20 in the NPD charts. It keeps on selling. Every year we see the increase. Every quarter we see the increase of the sales. With the same thing, not to the same extent can be said for Odyssey, but Odyssey is still the best-selling 3D Mario of all time. Maybe not counting 64, but 64 had basically 22 million sales because it sold 11, I believe 11 on the 64 and then 11 on the DS. So you know, can we consider them both the same game? DS had more characters added to it, more content. It's a little bit but still, that thing happened. So Nintendo's also not just doing that. Like, look at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It sold better in 2018 than in the fiscal year of 2018 than it did in the fiscal year of 2017. 2017 the game launched. It did better in its second year on the market than it did on its first year. And the second year did not include the launch hype of the Switch. It was just the game selling. That's impressive. Splatoon is going to reach the 10 million mark. It's a 2-generation-old franchise that began on the Wii U and it's expanding to probably sell over 10 million. Kirby Star Allies has cleanly passed through the vast majority of Kirby games. I believe it's the second best-selling Kirby game of all time already. Then we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is the best-selling Xenoblade Chronicles game of all time. Despite what people say, ARMS did terrifically at launch. It did 2 million. 2 million, over 2 million. You want to know what's interesting? Tekken 7, which nobody considers to be a flop, on PS4, Xbox One, and I believe PC did 3.6 million in about the same time period or 3.2 million, I don't remember, that ARMS did. ARMS did reach the 2 million or over 2 million mark faster than Street Fighter V. And Street Fighter V came out on the PS4, so you know, the big system. Nintendo is in the prime position not only to introduce audiences to new IPs, like they are doing. We're starting to see Nintendo also branch out more into doing new IPs. Astral Chain is a perfect example of that. They're keeping on going with Bayonetta, but that's not the point. Doing ARMS. ARMS was under the Mario Kart 8 team. The Mario Kart team, they could have easily done Mario Kart 9, but they said, no, let's do ARMS, a new IP. We've heard from Anuma that he wants to do a new IP, and he probably is working on a new IP. Now there's again rumblings going on that we will see retros at E3. Maybe will be a new IP, we haven't heard much of it, but maybe. Not just having new IPs appear and showcase themselves, Nintendo's also investing in third-party IPs. We're seeing that again, technically speaking, with Astral Chain, but more importantly with Bayonetta 3, keeping the franchise going. We're seeing that with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We're also seeing that in a way, with the Doom and Skyrim ports, which apparently were paid off by Nintendo, and they've both been successful, according to Bethesda themselves. Then you also have the fact that maybe just maybe they're paying to have The Witcher 3. That's the big port rumored right now. It's not really a rumor at this point. It's basically all but confirmed that The Witcher 3 is coming to the Switch. We now just need to see it playable, which would be an incredible thing to see. If it's playable if The Witcher 3 is playable on the Switch, a lot of this game can't come to the Switch because the Switch is too weak. Will lose its strength, especially if The Witcher 3 comes out and it performs well in terms of how well it plays on the Switch, and then how well it goes for, or how well it sells on the Switch. Then Nintendo, this is also the opportunity that Nintendo has to expand their older IPs. Like, yes, F-Zero, I've been one of the very few people that says the Nintendo is not to blame for the death of F-Zero, the fans are. And same thing can technically be said for other franchises. But yeah, F-Zero was killed off by its low sales. You could say, oh, but Nintendo could have done better marketing and all that stuff. That still didn't stop. If that's the case, was Pikmin, for example, better advertised than F-Zero? And F-Zero died on the GameCube because it sold under 1 million, well under 1 million. And Pikmin 1 and 2 both did better than that. And let's be honest, the Wii U also didn't have too much advertising, and games still sold relatively well. Splatoon did 4 million, Smash did 4 to 5, same thing with 3D World, same thing with Mario Kart 8. So it's not just advertising that will matter. The fan base will also need to be there. And F-Zero fan base, F-Zero is a franchise that nowadays keeps being brought up. It feels very much like the franchise that was killed by the fans and now the fans want to blame somebody else. But maybe now would be the perfect opportunity to bring F-Zero back, even though the fan base probably is not as big as it pretends to be. But now would be the opportunity to bring it back and expand to a new audience. Same thing is being done with Metroid. Look at how Nintendo is handling Metroid. Metroid Prime 4 was a game that just had its development restarted by a completely different team. They could have easily just taken whatever was going wrong, if it's rumored to be true that was not going right with one particular team. They could have taken that, given it to somebody else, and restructured that. But no, they completely scrapped it and gave it to Retro Studios because it's not falling to the standards that the fans expect. That puts the franchise, even in the eyes of the non-fan base, puts the franchise in a much higher perspective. Like, you don't look at you would look if the game wasn't so important to Nintendo, let's put it that way. Nintendo didn't care so much about the franchise. The game could have been trash. Like, look at the way people talk about Nintendo's handling of their franchises. Like Metroid. Metroid had Federation Force come out, a game that the fan base didn't particularly care for. Again, a game that's not bad. It's not bad. It just came out at the wrong time period. If we had Metroid Samus Returns come out in 2015 or 2016, and then in 2018 or 2017, we would have gotten Metro Federation Force alongside the announcement of Prime 4. People would have not been mad. People would not been upset. People would have been like, oh, neat, a Metroid spin-off. Let's see what this is about. Let's see if there's any hints towards what 4 could be like. But because of Federation Force, it created a sense of Nintendo doesn't care about the franchise. Then you couple in with the fact that Paper Mario has moved away from the RPG mechanics, and we move that F-Zero has been dead and buried for a long time. It may have created the sense that Nintendo didn't care about the franchise. That was not one of their highest priorities. Then you have Metroid Prime 4 and all everything that's going on with its development. Then Nintendo's like, no, we care about this. So much so that this was not the quality we expected. So we're scrapping the development. Even the good parts are going to be scrapped. We're going to give it to somebody else. Somebody else will trust with it. And it immediately puts it at a higher mindset of like, oh, they actually care about this. People have been saying that they don't care, but here's a prime example that they do care about the Prime series and about Metroid as a whole. And it puts it subjectively, or not subjectively, subconsciously, at a higher, mentally you think of it as a higher quality or higher priority game for Nintendo. And I feel like that's what Nintendo should be doing now. I'm expecting not for this year, but for next year, for Nintendo to really begin this ever-growing expansion. Like, if every game that we have right now for 2019 comes out in 2019 and nothing gets delayed, that to me kind of tells me that the 2020 lineup could be insane. And do I think we're going to see Odyssey 2 and Breath of the Wild 2 or the next 3D Zelda in 2020? Maybe, but I don't think we will. Because 2017, it was necessary to have both games there. You needed to launch strong and have a good game, a big game for the holiday season. Not only that, Odyssey and Breath of the Wild were made for two different systems. Breath of the Wild was originally a Wii U game that could have come out in 2016. It's a fact. The game could have come out in 2016 and then they delayed it to launch with the Switch so that the Switch would have something to launch with. Odyssey, also a game that could have come out earlier. It could have come out with on the launch of the Switch, but they delayed it to make the game better, to polish it a little bit more. So 2017 was different than what 2020 will be like. So 2020 could be a year of the expansion. Expand the dong, you would say. Bad joke. But like, we could have the return of F-Zero. We could have the return of... No, we're not going to get the... Well, maybe we can have Metroid in a 2D plane. We could have collections of older games and remakes of older games on older franchises that we thought to be dead to return. It could easily happen. Nintendo could take the upper... Like, Pikmin could return next year. Easily return next year. We could see Nintendo give a higher importance to franchises that wouldn't have that importance before, just by the fact of everything is selling so well on the Switch. This is the time to expand on it. Expand, like a game that didn't sell well before, well, now it could do great numbers and actually create a fan base around that franchise so that we can have more of it. Zelda is the perfect example of this. Zelda had never, ever on a single release touched the 10 million mark. And what does Breath of the Wild do? Touches the 10 million mark and breezes past it, building an increasing an already big fan base. Zelda was one of Nintendo's big flagship titles. It was not one of the big three in terms of sales data of individual franchises. Mario, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon all took the cake over it. But now Zelda, technically speaking, was always Nintendo's baby girl. It was the franchise that Nintendo showcased the most amount of respect and love towards it. Like, it had the best reveals, it had some of the best trailers, it was there to showcase what the systems could do. It was always amongst the best games Nintendo could create and has created. You'll be hard pressed to find a Zelda game that doesn't, especially on home consoles, that isn't like a showcase of something, like what can be done with the system. Like, even Skyward Sword, which is a heavily divisive game, was a game that was made that had to showcase what the Wii could do with one-to-one controls. Now, to various amounts of success, the game did suffer a little bit from, and everybody's experience is different because of the Wiimotes, but still. And looking at it now, Breath of the Wild is breezing past through all the sales data of the franchise, breaking records left, right, and center. At this point, it's highly possible that Breath of the Wild will become the single best-selling Zelda game of all time in Japan. It's very close to doing that. And to put things in perspective, that record, the best-selling Zelda games, were the original NES games. So it's 30 years in the making, basically. So you're creating a big a big fan base, and now we're cultivating a new fan base for these games, an increasing fan base. Smash is another game. Smash Ultimate is already the best-selling fighting game of all time and the best-selling Smash game of all time. And that is with 3 months on the market. 3 months on the market, and it became the biggest thing ever. Pokemon Sword and Shield is hype, and it's going to become cleanly not the best-selling Pokemon game ever. It's highly unlikely that we'll touch the 30 million of Red, Blue, and Green, but it could very easily achieve those numbers. Big cuts from when I last was here, so I don't remember exactly where I was. I think I was talking about Pokemon Sword and Shield becoming hype and that they could easily become 20 million plus sellers. I don't think it will achieve the hype numbers of the previous games, but hey, it could, or the previous games of Red and Blue, let's be completely honest, but becoming like the second best-selling generation of all time, it's very likely with the way the Switch is going and the games are going, and the fact that Pokemon is now starting to reach more people. Not only that, more spin-offs that Nintendo can do, like bringing franchises, continue on the interest of some franchises like Splatoon 2 Splatoon having an RPG, for example, bringing old spin-offs back like Mario Strikers and all that stuff. We haven't seen in a while, and a lot of franchises have been kept in the public's eye through Smash, but nowadays they could easily expand on some of them, and it would be likely to see. Plus, again, Nintendo's third-party relationships seems to be improving. We've seen that with Bethesda, where maybe we could start seeing that with CD Projekt Red. If the rumors are true, And well, we already have one, so if the rumors are true, the relationship with Microsoft could also be an ever-expanding one if we are in fact getting Banjo-Kazooie in Smash, and the Mario on PlayStation truly is Halo. Then Nintendo is putting themselves out there to become a very dominant or a very in a place of a very good place for the Switch 2, where they won't need to be as aggressive as before, but they probably still and should still be, not to play a little bit or not really be careful. And not only that, relationships with third parties could also include like third parties taking care of their IPs and IPs that maybe they haven't worked on before, or IPs they haven't worked on in a while. Perfectly, and would be Nintendo giving out to smaller or bigger companies IPs that they haven't used forever. Eternal Darkness, F-Zero, Golden Sun, even Pikmin could be given to other Star Fox, given to other people to work on, while the studios that work on bigger franchises or create new ones. Nintendo has on the Switch the opportunity, with such a varied install base, create not just new IPs that could last forever or for a huge while, or bring back the old ones and give them brand new life on the system, and in the future also make them feel special. And a lot of franchises feel special again. Metroid used to be one of the big three for Nintendo, and then it dropped considerably. But anyway, those are the feelings of one single dude, one crazy MFer, one guy that probably will one day be put in the hospital because he's a little bit crazy. But anyway, tell me in the comment section, what do you think? Do you think the Switch is the perfect place for Nintendo to expand not only their IP library in new ones, or expand the reach of older ones that haven't used in a while, and of those ones, which ones are the ones that you want to see come back? Personally, I think F-Zero seems like the most likely one, doesn't it? Maybe Star Fox could be one too. And yeah, that'll be it. So thank you guys for watching. What else what I was gonna say? I don't remember. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Been the Legend of the S. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, at 250 there will be a giveaway on the channel. Anyway, have a great E3, and I'll see you guys during E3. So see you then.